So in chapter 4, Nebuchadnezzar has another dream. He remembers the dream, but he doesn't remember. He doesn't know the interpretation. So once again he calls his magicians and his astrologers. They can't give him the meaning, but straight away he calls Daniel. Daniel is able to relate the meaning to him under much trepidation because Daniel found the interpretation to be fearful, and I guess he was concerned that the king may be upset about what he told him. Based on how he behaved. You can't wrong Daniel in being a little bit concerned to give a negative interpretation to the dream. But he gives the interpretation, and he basically tells Nebuchadnezzar to take his advice and break away from his sins, break away from his iniquities, be merciful unto the poor, and so on. I'll try and put those verses up here. Nebuchadnezzar, accepts the dream. He's happy that he has an interpretation for the dream. But 12 months later, he goes out on his balcony and says, "Is not this great Babylon that I have built?" And, made some proud remarks and proud statements. And, he was basically cut down, and he lost his mind for 7 years. Now remember, he had all the experience from chapter 1 all the way up to chapter 3. He saw some major things happening in chapter 3 where these guys were thrown in the fire. They were not burnt. They had stood out about their diet in chapter 1. They don't eat pork, they don't eat shellfish, they don't drink alcohol, yada yada. Chapter 2 showed that they had understanding of the times and the seasons, and they served the God of heaven. And he saw all of this, yet, it still wasn't clicking for Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar was just not having the experience that these Hebrew gentlemen were having. And because of this, he made some bad decisions, and, he just didn't get the full picture. But he repents in chapter 4, and, it's believed that Nebuchadnezzar is saved. But you can just notice that the experience that Nebuchadnezzar has is not the same organic experience that these three, or the Daniel and his Hebrew associates, are having, because they're basically under duress. But even under duress, they refuse to dishonor the God that they serve, who is the God of Jacob, Abraham, and Isaac, King of Kings and Lord of Lords.